Yo, welcome to another episode of Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. Your boy Trouble's in the building. Um, I'm drinking, of course. Drinking the Henny White to get you right. I just took a shot of it. Me and Chenae, aka Afro Mama. Make sure you get her adult coloring book, very therapeutic, based off of breastfeeding. Um, well, after I took that shot, I'm drinking Heineken, so you already know my theory. Make sure just drink responsibly. To all my military folks, all civilian personnel, just have a plan. Uber, Lyft, whatever. Call your homeboys, just call whoever because that $7 drink, $8 drink could turn to about what $10,000 and other headaches in life. Depending on if you get caught or not. But at the end of the day, just kind of know your limit and know yourself, when it comes to drinking, never be out there and trying to impress anybody. Hey, if you on that shot, well, that shot, and people around you like, hey, take another one, and if you're not about that life, don't do it. I mean, it's not worth it because what do you have to prove to anybody else? But if you are about it, then be it, and just do it. But on today's podcast, I have two special guests, two lovely ladies near and dear to my heart. Got Momdukes.
What up, kinfolk?
I got my girlfriend Chenae.
Hi guys.
So how's Thanksgiving for y'all? We just coming off that Thanksgiving break, that turkey, that beef, whatever.
Or pescatarian, that salmon.
That salmon. Oh yeah, shout out to Dominican my Dominicans or whatnot. Mad rice and beans.
Okay.
That was racist.
That was.
I mean, they do eat a lot of rice and beans though.
And you do eat chicken and watermelon though. That's
Hey,
Thanks, okay? Thanks, Mom.
I eat a lot of watermelon, but yeah.
Thanksgiving was interesting, to say the least.
Wow,
okay. So spill it.
So my mom has new friends. I won't even say new. It's been maybe about close to a year, but we decided to do Thanksgiving with them. Well, they decided to do Thanksgiving with them.
Friendsgiving.
Yeah. And I felt really weird about it because I'm so used to what we do. I'm so used to tradition,
Mm-hmm.
So I felt really strange about bringing it in with new people. And I guess that's expected. So we walk in there and the vibe was already really weird. Family things can get tense. You know how that goes.
Yikes.
Yeah. So I don't know what the tea nor the drama was. I don't know. It was just a really intense energy when we walked in. We were about an hour late because my mom cooked a lot, and the first thing was like, "Why are y'all late?" And my mom's upset because she's like, "How dare they question when I done cooked 80% of the meal?" It was just
That shit just came to your house if that's the case.
right. And ding, 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 ding. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
But,
Like, if it's 80, then...
but mom didn't want to be responsible for the cleanup.
Oh.
So it was better for her. She's like, listen, I'd rather cook, clean up the dishes that I used to cook, go over there and let them kind of do their thing than for everybody to be at the house. So that's going to be Christmas. But it was just a weird vibe. I mean, I came here and
Yeah.
I left probably an hour after being there. But that first initial energy was really weird. So.
Yikes.
Yeah. Our Thanksgiving, I guess it was pretty traditional. I don't really like to do the friend thing.
Why's that? You don't trust your friends cooking?
Well, my friend cannot cook. Kelly, she heats up.
Yeah. She acknowledges it, so
Yeah,
it ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
Miss Kelly acknowledges it.
Shout out to Miss Kelly.
Yeah.
No, but I think, certain holidays are the core of the holidays should be with family. And since this was the first year since 2008 that all the kids were home, that's what I wanted. I just wanted to be in my own space and have my father, my brother, come over. And then when it's time to go,
See ya.
yeah.
It's just us now.
Yeah. So, it was cool. Chris had friends come over after, which, I don't mind that. But, like, the initial dinner, and I just, I just didn't want to have that with friends.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This, I guess, like as I get older, like I never realized how much work it is
Yes,
in
it's hard
Thanksgiving.
work.
Like I'm cooking, well, I'm helping cook. I ain't cook everything, but I'm helping cooking. And by the time Thanksgiving dinner, I'm like, I'm tired, motherfucking tired.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I never realized how much time and like energy you put into like cooking that abundance. And like we had too much food this year.
Yeah, we did. And I didn't think that we did, but we did.
Would you rather have more food than not enough?
But we had
Too
too much
much.
food.
Yeah,
Like
it was
we had a better chance going to Southern Blues and doing
having them do it
having
versus
them cater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause it's what you drop $2.15. I think it was like the price was about $2.15 to feed about 15 or 20 people or whatnot. And we had food way more for 20 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys just throw it away?
Yeah.
We froze some of it.
Yeah, I did freeze some. And then the other stuff, it's like I'm getting tired of looking at it. I mean, and that's fine. I think, the next holiday, it'll be like a regular Sunday dinner.
Yeah, more condensed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always felt like, I don't know, as I get older, like, the Thanksgiving food doesn't even appeal to me no more.
What?
Like, it doesn't. I could cook that. Like, I could get that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I could have just, like, because my mom used to cook like that. Like, we would have at least one meal out of the month, like turkey, dressing, mashed potatoes, or dressing. Like, we would have that at least one Sunday a month. So, cooking it, it's like, I mean, I can cook this anytime, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
See, I guess it's different. Like, I can have the arroz con dudas, but like
Arroz
all
con
the
dudas?
like
Bless you.
the greens, like the greens and the sauerkraut. I don't know if some people ain't hip with sauerkraut, but sauerkraut, greens, all like just the traditional foods that come with Thanksgiving, especially like the Dominican heritage, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not on a normal basis. I can't say I have it every Sunday, or one Sunday a month. So when they come around, I'm hype.
Yeah. I said Thanksgiving next year. I don't know. Like.
Yeah, I'm looking at a cruise.
Travel somewhere. I don't know. It's just like. I mean, it's good when you're younger. You're just so appealing. But like now, as I get older, it's just like, all right.
Yeah, I'm thankful, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, I guess it's all in what you make it.
Right.
True. We gotta do something different with the food, though. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, growing up, my father, he would be like, so what do y'all want for Thanksgiving? And I remember one time, I'm like, just pork chops. Like, he fried pork chops and cabbage. Yeah, so, I mean, we still had dinner on Christmas, but not the traditional dinner. But remember we had, or I don't know, one year for Christmas we had Chinese food. Like Misty.
I wasn't here. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. She's like, we're gonna do Chinese. So she had like different. They made different Chinese dishes. So
it wasn't like they ordered. They made it.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was thinking, like, okay, like it may not work. But then like coming off of Thanksgiving and all of that food, and then again Christmas. Like, that was something different. So
yeah, it was a nice switch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is dope. I mean, order a given, so.
I thought she was saying y'all order Chinese. I'm like,
yeah, we're not that, no.
I ain't doing that. I think one of my Thanksgivings when I was in Italy, we went to a Gran Turismo. No, not Gran. Is it Gran Turismo? Like, it's basically like Italian style dinner or whatnot. So you have your your appetizers, and then it goes to like an entree of a pasta, and then like another
Oh,
entree, then a dessert, and it's unlimited wine the whole time.
It sounds like Have you ever been to Carmine's?
No.
It sounds like that. That's the kind of vibe they
mm-mm.
have there. Like you don't get individual dishes. You get big old dishes, and everybody
Yeah, it's
like
family
Yeah, so
style.
eats from
family
it.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like Maggiano's. Have you
Okay.
been?
Maybe.
I have been to my gym, but I always got the individual.
Oh,
I never got
yeah.
the family portion.
When we go, one of my friends, she loves that place. So like she always tells people, okay, it's $25, it's family style, and like these are the things that you can get. And I mean, I like it.
It's unlimited wine.
Loved it.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Mm.
Doubt it.
Well, yeah, it is the United States. I ain't doing nothing
Okay.
for free like that.
Okay.
Like y'all not doing nothing for free like that. Like
Right.
I forgot. Y'all bite off America bite off another culture and pay and make people pay 3 times the amount.
Okay.
True.
So yeah. And Maggiano's, what's it?
Maggiano's.
Maggiano's a chain restaurant, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't eat Italian food in the United States.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Like, cause when you told me, you was like, "Mom, don't come here thinking that it's gonna be Olive Garden." I'm like, okay, but it kind of
Oh, the
reminded
Italy?
me of It kind of reminded me of Maggiano's,
With
like
the style.
eating. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like the kind of food. I was thinking that it was gonna be like a lot of red sauce.
Oh no, they switch it up. Red, white, like all that. And it
Yeah.
ain't mad saucy either. Too much sauce.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I was.
Is
like,
it good? Was it like flavorful?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
With the cheese too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
It was
Italian
real
food is
good.
off the chain. I love it. I can't wait to go back if I can. That's the goal. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's my goal too.
But real reason why we're doing this podcast, I know hopefully a lot of people tuned in or what's going on in the news, but this whole Sentinelese, how you say it?
Sentinelese.
Sentinelese Island and John Chau. So for those that don't know, John Allen Chau, he was a Christian missionary. He wound up going to the Sentinelese Island, and basically he was saying he was going over. Well, the cover story is basically saying that he was going over there like for Christian ministry or whatnot. But we want to go real deep into the story of why he would go in there and just like kind of shine light on the whole situation. Was it a good idea for him to go? Was it a bad idea? What? So that's why we're doing this podcast right now for it. So in my geographic knowledge, I never even heard of this damn island, like at
Yeah, no,
all.
same until the incident happened.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's other islands that I don't even know about now. Like as you know,
And I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones who are like, I ain't never heard of this.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, because after that, when you mentioned it, I went straight to Google. I'm like,
Right.
wait a minute. Because, like, on the map, like, you see, like, those little dots of islands.
Right.
But then you're like, oh, nobody would ever live there. But then you don't.
And you're like, oh, they about that life.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, well,
but it's
people
just not
do.
the fact that about that life. It's just the fact. It's like, yo, these people are like almost considered uncontacted. Like they're still living in their time. They haven't caught up to what we living in as of right now. Like
It's just like such a beautiful thing, but then it like makes you question. We were talking about that upstairs. Like it kind of makes you like, damn, like they're not living up to times. Like this.
yeah,
just,
like you don't know what a
you're right, you
iPhone charger look like.
Yeah, but then, I mean, I guess, like, for me, like, a lot of the stuff that you guys, like, think is second nature or whatever, like, I lived during a time where, okay, you didn't have a computer. Like, that was, like, the big thing.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, Xbox, like, only certain people had, you know, like, Atari or ColecoVision.
It's like a luxury kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, like a lot of the things that we think are like up to date or like we have to have, like, I mean, there are generations of people who live without, you know, a telephone or air conditioner or, you know, like just some of the modern luxuries that we have. I just don't understand like why he felt that he had to do this.
So the Washington Post, I was reading on them. So basically, the Washington Post stated that he harbored a deadly obsession with the isolated island and tribe in India since he was a teenager, and he spent years of planning and training to travel illegally to the remote island. And so, with him being a Christian missionary, that kind of helped him get in because he wound up he joined a missionary group in Kansas City, and so that I guess that particular missionary group they send people to other countries.
They ain't sent him there though, and the key word is illegal. And illegal and planning since you're a teenager tells me you struggle with boundaries.
Yes,
That's
I
a
do
problem.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
And
problem.
so he went out there in 2016, I guess, to kind of meet people or whatnot, part of his planning, and then like he basically was going out there for a fishing trip. That's what he was telling everybody. So he basically camouflaged the whole damn thing. It was like, yeah, I'm just going out for a fishing trip. Probably wound up meeting the 7 fishermen or the 3 fishermen or whatnot, and built a relationship. And then I think like when he wound up going over there in November, then he paid them with like $375.
Yeah,
or
it was $375.
yeah,
That he paid them.
$375 to take them.
375
No, $375 to take them to the island or whatnot. So $375 American is a lot,
There, yeah.
compared.
And in
Yeah.
India, the conversion.
Yeah, so just a brief timeline. So November the 14th, hold on, October 16th, he arrived to the Andaman Islands, and then it was saying November 14th, he wound up having them, the fishermen, take him to the island, made contact with the people.
But what type of contact? Like the offering kind of contact?
Not yet.
Okay.
November 15th, he made contact with him again, and then that's when he gave him gifts. So I was kind of weirded out about the gifts that he gave. He gave gifts, small gifts, fish scissors, cord, and a safety pin.
What is that going to do?
Like,
it's things they don't know of. So to them, that's like, oh my, it's like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, but what if somebody gave you, let's just say, like, a remote control to turn the moon? Like, you don't know what to do with this. Like, so, I mean, I guess my thing is, like, these gifts that they're giving, like, I mean, to me, that just sounded like something at the bottom of, like, his purse. I mean, well, not his purse, but, like...
maybe.
At the bottom of, like a suitcase or, like, just random things you just have. Because, I mean, if you're going to make contact to a tribe that you have been obsessed with since you were a teenager, and these are the only things that you're going to, like... These are the best things that you can
come up with, yeah.
Yeah, like, to me, like, why, like...
Put more thought into that.
But I feel like it was thought out, and I feel like there's an alternative motive to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's to see if they'll, oh my God, I've never seen this before. I know nobody has ever offered this before. Maybe they'll have their arms wide open to me because I've given them something that they've never seen.
Yeah, but, like, cord. Like, even if I gave... I'm trying to think of something that is, like, useful.
Of
like,
substance, yeah.
Yeah.
But to them, it's like, to us, we're like, what the hell is that? But to them, it's like, oh my God, cord. We've been rapping with IVs
Yeah.
But that's not their first time dealing with people. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like,
not their first time dealing with people, but it may be their first time seeing these items. What I'm saying is that there was a method to the madness.
Well,
like
yeah.
It wasn't just like
He's
this is all I got.
Trying to follow. What was the guy named Portman?
Yeah, but then there was another guy
Before him.
Yeah, who's been in contact with these people for decades, and he's befriended these people.
Wow.
So he's saying that I guess what's out in the media now, is not a fair, I guess, judgment, because he has been, around these people. He knows that they are peace-loving people, but then also, I guess because he's built up the trust, and he's respected their boundaries, he probably has a different, um,
Outlook on them.
yeah. So, um,
So the whole thing of them being uncontacted, that's just not true.
They've been
well,
contacted for years.
yeah, I think that like maybe like the level of contact is
Right.
not the same. So no, it's not the same as like Canada. People can go back and forth to Canada. Those Canadians can come here or to any other state. But T.N. Pandit, he's an Indian anthropologist. So he's been coming to the isolated island like over a period of decades, like multiple decades, and he's been interacting. So I guess my thing is still, like the respect level of, okay, yes, you can come here. We don't want to go there, but then you have to also respect the boundaries of, like being here.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just give us a pig and a dog
And call it that. Yeah.
and
People are gonna be like, welcome.
yeah. So I guess it's just I guess they have to build up that trust. And if you know that, okay, if I know that you're coming to the door, I'm gonna be welcoming to you. But if it's someone that I'm really not sure, I'm just gonna take a look and like yeah, no, I'm not really feeling you based on however I feel.
Yeah. But did he start with an offering as well? Like all of these people who have had contact and they built trust and they built a, I won't say a full on relationship, but some sort of relationship. Did it start with an offering?
So
yeah, they would give them pots and pans and hammers, long knives, coconuts.
Okay.
So like things that they could use. So
Right.
that's why I'm like, okay, a pan versus cord or a pan versus scissors.
Right.
I mean, because like in all honesty, like what are they cutting?
Yeah, leaf.
That they can't, that they haven't been already using
Right. Their own
items
tools.
that they've, made.
But the difference is not having that almost arrogance in just like this is what I'm going to give you, and now I can come onto your island.
Yeah.
That they've actually they offered something, but they took the time to build that relationship. They took the time to not just respect their boundaries, but understand their boundaries.
Right, and then the other thing is that they took along 3 other guys from a neighboring tribe to build that piece. So
The Yooooo tribe.
Angi.
Angi. Was that
Yeah.
north or south?
It's still in the north.
Oh.
So there's tribes on there that are open to relationships.
So
Okay.
like the Jara
Yeah.
and the Andaman,
Yeah,
they're
Yooooo tribe. They get exploited though. That's all.
yeah, and see that's the thing.
They got them
where
hooked on cigarettes, alcohol.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They got they do tours through their villages or whatnot.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
if we're sitting down here and somebody did a tour, like they're seeing us in
Yeah.
like it's a
Your
human
habitat.
zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they get out of that?
Exploited? Who you talking about? Who?
Like
The
they have to
people?
get something. Like the people. They have to get not the people visiting, but like the people of the island. They have to get something for being exploited.
I mean, they get
mean,
a little money, but
Yeah,
it
but
just,
it's
it creates sickness. You create
yeah.
Right.
you create like addiction and certain things to where it's like, yo, we wasn't about that. They get money, but it's like they was living with money, living without money all these years.
Right.
It's like, what is
Yeah.
it for?
Yeah, so the concept is not the same.
Right.
So I mean, if you stood in the middle of I don't know, like the jungles of Honduras and you had $1 million in your pocket, like it does nothing
Yeah.
Very true.
there versus
Being in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess like one of the first contacts, give or take, probably like documented was like in the 1800 by Commander Portman. He was part of the English Navy, which was crazy because they were saying that Portman was erotically obsessed with the Andamese, and he indulged his passion for photography by kidnapping members of various tribes and posing them in mock Greek homoerotic compositions.
In what?
In mock Greek homoerotic compositions.
Homoerotic.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so he's sick.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just kind of reading the story of Portman, I could kind of see why that the
Why they
people-
are the way they are.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna kidnap me and put me in some homo positions. Like, what?
Yeah,
take
but
pictures
then.
of me and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
they
then,
only have terrible experiences.
yeah, because then he also kidnapped like the elderly couple
Yeah.
and the two kids. The elderly couple, got sick and they passed away. But
'Cause
then
he took them to Port Blair, which is the
Yeah.
neighboring island. That's probably not, I want to say even like 70 kilometers between.
Wait.
It's like basically going to Cuba from Miami in a
Yeah.
sense. Like,
Okay, so I'm confused as to who they kidnapped. What?
they kidnapped. So Commander Portman, he kidnapped an elderly couple and two children.
From the island.
yeah, the
Yes.
Sentilese Island.
Yeah.
Sentinel
So
Island.
the couple, they passed away, due to the sickness
Right.
and exposure. The kids, they were later returned, and he brought gifts back with the kids. But then,
Like, my bad, dog.
yeah, but then you also have to realize that, okay, now, like with the oral tradition, that's being passed along throughout the island, throughout the centuries, throughout the family. Like, so they're keeping that very strong to them because to them, it's like, this is what happens.
Right. And you don't know who they were to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, shit.
So
I get it.
Then you fast forward to what, 1960s,
It's unbelievable.
70s, and 80s? Well, really in the 80s. So 81 is a cargo ship, the Primrose, ran aground on the coral reef surrounding North Sentinel. But, with the reefs or whatnot, with the water being so shallow, the boat wound up getting stuck. And so, Sentilese, they like, hey, my block, B. You on my block.
Like, you too close.
Right.
Hey, you too close.
They
so,
shot him up in the marrow?
Yeah. Hold on. Crew radioed for assistance and settled for a long wait, but in the morning, they saw 50 men with bows on the beach making a mischief boat. So they stuck basically in the middle of the water or whatnot, and they see people on the island making boats that come over there to them. Like, you know how scary that is?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and the crazy part is, I was like, yo, you gotta have a lot of heart. And what I mean by that is from the Sentinelese people, due to the fact that it's this big cargo ships. Cargo ships are like bigger than some blocks or
I'm
whatnot.
jumping ship. Okay.
And I'm here with my people trying to make this little
Right,
boat.
and all they got is like a spear and
Right. They traveling in on a log.
yeah.
Yeah, like
But they like we gonna
that's hard.
protect.
That
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
like from
Oh, they
within.
want you.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm
Yeah.
out. I'd rather die by a shark than die.
with somebody
when they
with
was like,
a mini
Mayday.
boat.
Right. Oh,
Mayday, hurry
Yeah.
up. Like come
Code
blue.
red.
Right, code red, code blue. Like what else do I need to say to get y'all here? Because that's crazy. I mean, for them, they did have heart and they were going to protect their family at all costs.
Right.
So then it's like, okay, y'all know these people are not to be dealt with.
Bruh, for them to make a boat, like you stuck and they making a boat.
They making a boat
come
while
to
they
you.
see.
But in their defense, though, from the outside looking from their perspective, they like, why they posted up like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know that the ship.
Right, they plotting something. We gotta
Yeah.
take them out, you know? So
Yeah.
I'd be up there like, God, peace. Peace signs.
White
like,
flag,
right.
I don't know,
We
like
coming,
Right.
Yeah.
I'll make you a shirt. I don't know.
Right.
it just gets crazy.
Yeah.
I just found that so amazing. And then so that was what I said, the 80s. So crazy part is once they evacuated, of course they tore that boat up or whatnot, meaning the people of the island. So that's when they started. It kind of advanced their technology in a way because they's able to use metal arrows now, metal spears, and just like whatever is
Yeah.
on the boat because that boat was evacuated. So it kind of advances their technology and their understanding of certain things.
And that's a reason to take them out. Like, it don't matter if you come in peace or you don't. We need what you got on that boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like my mother was saying, it was just like that oral knowledge of like passing down information is like it was strong because it's
Yeah, you don't have, like anything written where, okay, like now I'm doing my family tree where, like I can give that to my kids, they can see, as opposed to like it being embedded in their head, like, hey, this is what happened, this is what you need to do, this is why, whatever. And I guess they raise all of the children, like with that bit of knowledge, like, hey, any outsiders need to be gone. Because even now I'm reading where the guy that was welcomed, he said it was one memorable, tense exchange on the trip. One of the young members of the tribe had threatened him. I was giving away coconuts and I got separated from the rest of my team and started to get close to shore. One of the Sentinelese boys made a funny face, took his knife, and signaled that he would cut my head off. I immediately called for the boat and made a quick retreat. The gesture of the boy was significant. He made it clear I was not welcome to be alone. So
scary.
Yeah.
I need y'all together. That's
Yeah. But I mean, and I guess that's true. Like, okay, if all of the outsiders are together, then so then everyone can keep an eye on them.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, like, look how their security detail, I mean, I guess for lack of a better word, like, is. It's like, okay, no, you gotta cut this out. Like, you need to get back on the boat or with the rest of your...
Because now we watching them and now we watching you. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so we were talking about the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward to 2006, it was two fishermen or whatnot. They was fishing. They were drinking, of course. They wound up getting super drunk, passed out, and like they had like some homemade anchor, but it didn't sink right. It didn't anchor right or whatnot. So they started drifting. They drifted too close and
they killed them.
They killed him.
Yeah.
I don't know what she got that from. Jamie Foxx.
That's how he did.
Right.
Jamie Foxx comedy.
Hey, boo.
Yeah, so I mean, he killed them. So I'm like, yo, that's just for him to basically. My thing is for John Chau that kind of has this obsession, like he would have to read a lot of this stuff that I'm pulling up.
Absolutely, I agree.
And it's like, okay, you go there, Christian missionary. What is it? November 15th, when you offered the gifts, they took them, of course, and then that's when you get an arrow fired at you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but it caught through the Bible.
Yeah, it hit the Bible.
Right. Okay, so he must have thought that.
I'm not mad, super religious, but I'd have took that as a sign like God only protected me this one time. Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, like that's how I took it. But I guess he was like, oh, I gotta go back.
And you had to know the danger because what he put in his journal is "Don't retrieve my body." Like
he did put that?
Yes,
oh, wow.
He told them, "Do not retrieve my body." So he knew what the danger was.
Oh wow!
And it's like that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to missionary, like I'm all about it. Like I respect that that's what you do. You know, I respect that wholeheartedly. But when you are trying to just go against tradition and you're trying to go against the norm, it's disrespectful.
Yeah, I do think that because now I'm looking and Mr. Pandit, the one who was able to make contact and like he's made contact with these people, and he said that the members of his group were always pre-screened for possible communicable diseases, and only those in excellent and good health were allowed to travel. They said Mr. Chau, who was killed last week, did not gain official permission for his trip. So So, I mean, I understand that they have the mandate that, you can't go, like, there's a 3 mile
Yeah,
radius.
you gotta be 3 miles away from the island. Like,
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, like, for missionaries, they must have some type of protocol in place. And still, like, as a teenager, like, if he's been obsessed
Right, no, like, he
with
didn't care
these
about that.
people, then so why didn't he just follow the proper protocol? I mean, because I found out about this, last week?
Right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, all these things that are readily available.
yeah, because he's
And
26
What
from
was his
Washington State.
intentions?
I think his intentions was to try to be like Portman.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I
I
don't think he, I mean,
Oh, not the homoerotic
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I don't know what he like, if he like little boys or not. But
Okay.
I mean, I don't. But I just think he probably just wanted to be king.
That's not when you're.
but you have to do it
I
the
don't know
right
the words.
way.
It's not even.
You can't do it
There's
the
no
right.
right
No,
way.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
intentions
saying,
are bad.
no, I'm saying if, like, even with Portman, he was what, in the Navy?
Yeah, the
you know,
English Royal Navy.
yeah. So his intentions were, okay, I'm going to, learn more about these people and, blah, blah, blah. So he had, like, the backing and the official paperwork as to why, he was over there.
Got it.
Now, when he got there and, now we're seeing all these pictures of, whatever, and then, like, his journal of the men and, everything.
Yeah, he was like,
What-
these black men have big penises.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like, if you're going to do
That's where
something,
racism
like,
started.
make sure that
Babe, you gotta chill.
you got to make sure that you're doing everything on the up and up. But, I mean, I guess he did. So if he knew that he wasn't over there for, I don't want to say a good reason, but he knew that
He was abusing trust.
yes. I like
That's
that.
a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can't see, like, okay, let me join the missionary so I can get over here. Why don't you try to at least understand what these people are like? Understand, like, what you feel the need is.
Right.
Check.
Check your intentions.
Yeah.
His intentions weren't pure, and that's why it ended the way that it did. With what's his name, Portman?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he did it the right way. His intentions weren't pure, but he was able to go about it in a way where he could build trust.
Yeah.
And
He was
he
the first
still,
contact, though.
and
So
but he still abused it, and he
Yeah.
still took
Yeah.
advantage of it. So it's like now they're like, okay,
yeah,
I ain't
we don't
accepting
like-
none of y'all mother
Yeah.
effers.
because now you say it's like it was I want to say it was a 2006 trip or it was the early 90s trip when they came and they was giving them coconuts and
This with the pig.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so they wound up
Oh,
giving
yeah,
them
yeah.
coconuts and like some other stuff and
And a doll.
who
A pig and a doll.
a doll like a baby doll, so coconuts, doll, and a pig.
A baby doll?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was like an Indian anthropologist group or whatnot.
I thought she said dog earlier.
No.
I thought you said
Dog.
dog. Oh, you were saying doll.
Yeah,
Doll,
double L.
yeah.
That now I get why you were like, that's weird. It all
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, so like they wound up giving them the coconuts, but after a while, the people of the island was like, nah, hey, fall
Like,
back,
yeah, fall
we good.
back.
Like
Right.
they wound up taking the bag from them, like give me that. Dude.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Because
With
they
their
were
hatchets.
giving them to him, like, one by one, which means that you're... If I have, like, a whole bag and my intention is to give, this to you, but if I'm giving it one by one, like, I'm trying to prolong...
lure you in as
Yeah,
well.
so it's like, okay...
It's bad intent with it.
Here, I'm throwing 6 out there, but then now I'm just throwing them right here,
In
and
front
you're
of me.
coming closer and closer, and to the point where now they're taking them out of my hand, and then like some of the people were coming out of the like off the beach and like grabbing them back. Like, no, like you can't make contact with these people.
Right. Their intentions
So
aren't pure.
yeah, so then that's when they took the bag. Like
Yeah,
they
took the bag, and then after that, they wound up giving them the pig. But they slaughtered that pig right there and buried it and walked away.
Yep.
Just like that.
And it's like, if I do this to that pig, imagine what I could do to you.
Yeah, just like what they did with the two fishermen. They killed them and buried them right on the island.
Right there,
Yeah. And
Like
just
in front of everybody.
I guess I'm
Yeah.
no.
They never said like, but I guess it was like plainly like in
Like in sight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could see that okay, like these two people are
Like they
right
just
here.
dragging the body, like just like
Scary.
John Chau. They was like when the fishermen came the next day, they said they saw
They saw his body buried.
Yeah, they saw the people dragging his body and they buried him and then went about their business.
What do you think the obsession is? Like, your mom and I were talking upstairs. What do you feel is the obsession with, like, knowing what our society is like and knowing how technology driven we are, how just A1 we are in a lot of aspects? What do you think the obsession is with a colony that is untouched? What do you think it is?
I think to me, like now, it seems like it's it's more of obsession because everywhere else they've been able to come in,
Infiltrate.
and do this, and then now like this one level on Candy Crush, I cannot pass. Like I need to.
Great analogy.
I'm sending all my Facebook invites.
Yeah, like I don't care if you play it or not. Like, just send me, like...
A life.
Yeah, so I think it's more of an obsession as to, like, why can't I do this? Because if these people have lived, like, thousands
about
of
60,000.
years...
Yeah.
Without
Anything.
a TV, Bath and Body Works. Like, a CD player. Right.
Never heard a Mobb Deep record in their day in their life.
Right, like, they don't even know who Big Daddy Kane is. Like...
Beyonce, yeah.
Right, so...
Yeah.
If they have lived this long and they are like flourishing, like you see that they're not fat, they're
lean.
Lean, they're in shape. You see that like the kids like they just look strong. They look strong, healthy. Leave me alone.
They about that life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like, okay, so what are they doing?
But what do you think causes the obsession? Is it that, oh my God, we've never not been able to...
I think that's what it is. It's like we've been able to, okay, Chris, this is like, I want to go here. I want to go here and I want to teach you about the gospel. But then meanwhile, in the back, you got them posing naked. To satisfy, your fetish. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, like, for the most part, like, it kind of reminded me of Cuba. Like, when we went to Cuba, like, and when I came back, everybody was like, oh, what was it like? Because, they've been cut off, like, since the 50s, like, all the old cars. But we saw... Yeah. Like up-to-date cars. Like I seen so many people in Gucci t-shirts, and I'm like,
Fila.
Yeah, and I'm like one of the guys, I brought something. One of the guys was like, I'm poor. I'm like, no, you're not. Like you have on
Fila outfit on,
right,
with the matching shoes.
Yes, and he was like, no, okay, I'm just playing. I'm like, but see, they were cut off from the United States,
right?
But there's other countries that supported them that they could get. Whatever they needed.
Right.
So I think with this, like he probably wanted to have, like he wanted to probably be, that
a Caucasian
person.
colonizer. That's what you want to be.
He wanted to be next goddamn Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to be that person that was like, okay, I made contact with them.
But that's not a missionary.
No, it's
That's
not.
not a missionary. That ain't at all. You ill intent from the jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, if he would have got with this Indian anthropologist, like I think that he would have been further along in his mission than what he thought.
I think he would have came more correct.
But he
Yeah.
was violating laws though. Indian
Off
law.
top, yeah.
Indian law is like, yo, don't contact these people like at all.
But he thought the Bible was gonna hold him
Yeah,
up.
so
He
it's
shot
like,
through that
so
shit.
it's saying
Yeah,
that
but I'm like-
he violated the country's aboriginal and force protection law as well as the cultural norms. So it's like, you go over there, it's like, for what? Like the Indian law
Right.
saying like, yo, we are like, as a government, they'll look after them, of course, or whatnot, but it's just from a distance. They're just from that 3 mile radius. Oh, do we see people?
They had 2.9.
Yeah, do they look good through binoculars? If so, then let them be. But
yeah, that's what I think. That's what. So when the
being American, is what you gonna do? Like,
yeah, because I mean the next trending topic is going to wipe this off the mat. Like nobody's going to be worried about these people, again. But I think that with so like when he paid the people, which is $354 US, which is 25,000 rupees in India.
Damn.
So when you hear 25,000, it's like, oh yeah, I'll take you. Like, I'm gonna take you, and okay, like something happened. I mean, like it's on you, but I just think that the whole intent for like even the fisherman, even for this guy. I mean, like I feel for his parents, for his family because like if your family member dies and like like you do want them, like you do want the body, to be back home, but then
Grieve properly.
yeah, but then also it's like,
bro, you broke the
damn,
law.
yeah, like what do you do?
Yeah. Cause was either his parents or like his Christian missionary friends. They try and get the people on trial.
Yeah, but you can't.
What?
Yeah, it's not like you can't govern another country. Like they don't have. So if you steal gum in China, that's a public beating, probably 10 years in jail. Yeah. So here we can't say, oh, that's too harsh. I mean, like my thing is wherever I go, I always try to like read up on like what is what. Like me walking across the street in the middle of the street is okay here, but if I go to Grand Cayman, I don't want to be locked up.
Right. And my thing is they don't pose as a threat. So it's like they don't have anything. They don't need to do anything. Y'all came to us.
Yeah.
And
So-
we did what we needed to do. There's laws set in place that we could do what we needed to do.
Yeah.
Well, how are they going to be on trial for?
Yeah, that might be their laws. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it either. And my one good question is like with all these like I guess attempted contacts, they were probably with the lighter spectrum, lighter shade of spectrum.
Mhm.
So it's like, do you think or do y'all think if it was maybe that was somebody black?
Yeah, if they would be more receptive because
Yeah.
like the guy that's from India that has been able to make contact with
Somebody looked like them in a
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if I send you and Taylor over there, like, are y'all gonna be able
Please
to?
don't send him.
Yeah.
Like would they be a little more receptive because with the guy who made contact, the Indian anthropologist, like he used 3 people from the neighboring tribe to help bridge that gap. So I guess maybe if like other missionaries did the same thing, like to kind of let them know like, hey, like they want to come in peace, because even the Indian government, like they said they'll do like flyovers, like just to make sure that they are okay, but they've been shooting arrows at the helicopters, like
Yeah. Yeah, like 2006, it was like a crazy, was it tsunami or monsoon
Yeah.
or whatnot?
Mhm.
It wiped out about like 125,000 people. Whatnot was confirmed dead. And like a few days after the tsunami hit or monsoon hit or whatnot, the Indian government wound up going to that island to make sure everybody was good and make sure nobody got wiped out. And And they was like, they already evaded and went to higher
Like
ground.
ground, yeah. So
And it's
they
like,
know what to do.
yeah.
So yeah.
And they just going off the ripple of the ocean, the way the birds are chirping.
Yeah,
You know?
throw a leaf up in this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cold, y'all. Come on in.
Yeah.
Right.
It just gets crazy. Another question for y'all. Y'all think not should we invade in a sense?
No. For what?
Just leave them alone total?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, because what is to, I mean, like, really, like, honestly, like, what is it to gain? I mean, because I look at it like this. There are so many other things that need to be fixed here. So, like, going there, like, what is it? I mean, that's not even our country.
Yeah.
Like, and we're concerned with, oh, I want to bring his body back.
Just obsessed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's like, okay, if the Indian government have said, you know, they want to be left alone, we're going to respect it, you know, let's just do that. I think that another thing that this brings to light is where now they have tribal tourism, where they do that. Where
Exploit.
Yeah. So the first time I heard about that was with the Melanesians in Australia.
Goddamn melanin.
Where they're like so gorgeous, like your complexion with blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
But they're Australian, and they're what do you call it? I guess like Aborigines. Like I guess like they're the, what did you call them before? Indigenous people, you know, of the country,
island,
of the island. And it's like you always want to exploit, you know, like these people because they don't live like we do.
But it's like that is a problem. Like
Yes.
what is up with that? Why, what is the obsession with being that way? Why do we have to exploit these people or see them as something like a target that we need to get or like you know? What is that?
See, my thing is, it's like I wouldn't want to like quote unquote invade or whatnot. I don't want to exploit them. I'm just curious.
You want to learn them.
Yeah, to learn them due to the fact of like they came from Africa,
right?
And they wind up coming to that island. So first, I want to know what do they call themselves, or whatnot, because they don't call themselves Sentilese or how do you pronounce the name? We made the name up. And then it's like, okay, you coming from Africa. I'm African American, so it's like, damn, you know, in any sense, are they part of my DNA?
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. But I just think that if that's what you want, if you want to learn them and they don't want to be contacted, it's respecting that boundary with figuring out different ways, sending them. I mean, you don't know if they can read or if they can't read, then you send them books where they can learn how to read. And then you send them books on how they can write. And then you send them, you know, how can you, you know, so that way you can learn about them, but in their way. But you're teaching them, but you're doing it in a way where you still respect their boundaries.
Of course.
We just want to roll up on them and be like, what's up?
Yeah, what you eat for dinner?
Right.
Yeah.
Or we kidnapping them and putting them in homosexual positions. Like, that's insane to me.
I just want, if able to, maybe years down the line, just have a conversation like that. You know, what was your history like?
Okay.
What made y'all come to that island? All of that stuff.
Well, we're not gonna do that.
What?
We could send letters.
Huh? What are you talking about?
For 26 cents a day, you can
I ain't say I want to. I ain't say I want to go over there, but I'm saying that would be my, like, I'm not trying to exploit them. None of that. Not make money off them in general. I just want to, like, I'm African American. Like, I want to know my history. If by any chance they've been living on an island for 60,000 years plus or whatnot, what made them? They was part of an African tribe. So what tribe is that for them to come from Africa and go to that island? Of course, it was probably because of what's the word I'm looking for? They probably left due to the fact of all the white people was coming. So it's just kind of understanding and like, okay, Yeah, what is the bottom line, y'all tradition, y'all history, and just leave it as that. I'm like, hey, y'all could go do y'all damn thing.
Do
What
we know
y'all
their
got?
language?
Huh?
Do we know their language?
Nope.
No, and see, that was the other thing where because they were like with Portman, he was because he was able to talk to or able to make communication with the other two tribes, the Andaman and the
Jara.
Jarwa. He thought that, oh well, since they're all on the same island, they must speak
The
the
same
same language.
language.
So he brought one of them to the Sentinelese, and they were like, we don't like. He couldn't. The guy couldn't communicate with them. So then that's when I guess he started to figure out that, okay, yeah, all these black people don't speak the same language. They don't maneuver in the same way. But then like the Anderman people, like their hair was like a little bit straighter, whereas the Sentinelese, theirs were, I guess, like kinkier, or like a tighter coil.
Right.
So he was able to see like some differences in them, but he just thought, oh, all of these people are on the same.
See what happened when you think? That's a problem.
Yeah.
Just see
But
like when you think.
but I mean, I am curious, to talk with them, or like maybe like if someone could interpret, like, so what is the history, like, how
Yeah.
did you get here, like,
Give
but
us
then
something.
yeah, but then also, I mean, we do have to respect, like, I mean, if they don't have
Yeah.
anything, then
Shit.
I mean, that's just one of the things that we just won't know.
Right. And it's not even just not having it. If they're not willing to give what they have, it's just
Yeah,
something you gotta
true.
respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Cause like it was one video I was watching. They saying like turtles don't even come on that island. Like
What?
yeah, turtles don't come on that island. Cause I guess with turtles and dealing with like humans or like land, it's like kind of passed on through like generation through generation, or whatnot. And the video I saw, it was like, yeah, turtles don't even go on that island. So I'm like, okay, what the hell do y'all eat?
Turtles stay within the 3
Well,
mile radius.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
turtles stay
Like,
away.
we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fall back. But they do have, like, it was fish. So, like, in a couple of the videos they had where they were spearing the fish and capturing lobster.
Oh wow.
So it's like, I'm assuming, like, with the coconuts, they eat that. Whatever grows naturally, like, within the island, and then
And I'm pretty sure they probably start their own groves, like coconut groves and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like within. But I told them it could be like Wakanda, where you seeing what you think you seeing, you
Right.
go beyond them trees, there's a whole
Right.
city.
Shoot, they could be shuttling people back and forth to Jupiter. We
Right,
don't know.
we don't know
Yeah.
nothing.
That's crazy. I mean,
And I guess that's what does it. There's the curiosity of like what is beyond that perimeter.
yeah.
What is beyond that?
Yeah,
And
because
that
everything.
curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah. So now
They
they're
didn't
like,
kill George.
yes. So now they're talking about like not doing the helicopters because like some of the spears were able to reach, the helicopter.
Damn.
Yeah. So now they're looking at doing drones.
Were they hovering low, or they was like in the sky, and they getting them with the spear? They throwing it up there?
Yeah, that's I'm like, dang, like
It must have been
Hey.
yeah, because they showed two. They showed a helicopter with two spears, like.
They must have been hovering
puncture.
low.
Like
There's
impacted
no
in?
way.
What?
There's
Yeah.
no way that they weren't hovering though.
Yeah, they had to be hovering, but I guess probably so they could get like good
Footage.
Yeah, but I'm like, let's zoom in.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
I'm not like I don't need to use.
And the way technology is these days, I don't get the need to hover. You should be able to have the technology and the
Yeah, like
cameras that
Google
you can
Maps.
zoom
That's what
all
I'm
the
saying.
way
Like,
in.
yo, Google Maps can see somebody
Right.
in East Baltimore
Using
and
the
they
grain of salt,
Yeah.
grain of sand up in that mug.
East Baltimore on their front porch, but you can't tell them you can't see an island.
But I guess
on
like
the shores.
The
Yeah.
Indian government, like they don't have like a lot of money.
But this isn't the like us coming in
No,
No, this is
there.
India. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's
Okay.
not us.
What?
What you doing with the book?
She's tearing the couch up.
You gotta get her a scratching thing. Her
Yeah.
claws are coming in.
Yeah. But
Get her some mittens.
exactly. Yeah. But anything else on this John Chau situation and the Sentilese people?
Um,
They do have a 3-star. They do have a 3-star hotel over there.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
moving up.
I thought it was on the actual
Yeah,
island
because
itself.
I'm like, wait a minute, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I would be so curious to go there and to talk to the people. It's a nurse that I follow on Instagram. She does like a lot of missionary stuff. I mean, I'm not a nurse, so I don't know like
How that work?
yeah, or like what I could offer. I mean, maybe how to decorate, like their hut or something. But
Yeah.
like it's like her pictures, like she's sitting with the people, she's talking to them, like she was introducing them to like Snapchat and talking, and like the kids were like so happy, and like they understood the technology. One of them got upset when they saw like their face. They thought they really looked like one of the
Yeah.
Snapchat filters, and she got she was upset and crying. But I think when it comes from a good place, like I think your blessings, to fulfill what you want, will open up. And I feel bad for this guy's family that he had to die so abrupt. But I think that with him knowing, the full intent
And the
on why,
risk.
yeah,
Yeah.
and why he was over there, like that was just something that he was willing to accept. And unfortunately, his family has to do the same. If he's
Yeah.
saying, "Don't retrieve my body," like because he probably knew that like whoever tried to would probably have the same fate as him.
Yeah. And it's like how you know they don't already have a religious or spiritual following or belief already. So it's like
Yeah.
what's the whole point? They've been over there for 60,000 plus years plus, whatever their origin of in Africa. So it's like, come on now. Just leave it be.
Yeah. I think that when like just looking at this story and looking at the people, like it's so many, people that have migrated out of Africa that have, hit like these smaller islands. So for them, so I guess the history of them coming over from Africa, maybe that was like that was just like the first island that they got to, where they saw, land, or maybe they hit a couple islands and it's like, okay, we can't sustain living here because, it's not conducive to, what we need. So they, wanted to go a little further. But I just don't understand trying to colonize a group of people in the name of Christianity, and there's things set up to protect them.
Yeah.
Like first and foremost, the immunity. Like you being there is going to wipe out these people.
Yeah.
Like people don't think about that. Like, you come into another country, these people have never ever been in contact with other people to where they've had the measles or the flu, or we don't even know if they've even been sick.
Yeah.
So you come in, you're feeling a little under the weather. For us, we can take Theraflu, ginger ale, Pepto Bismol, and go lay down. For them,
It's life or death.
yeah. So I think that sometimes the full intent of what we want to do has to, we have to also we also have to understand whether it's like, what are the risks.
Yeah. What are the rest?
So given these people the Bible, and talking about Noah and Job and David, that supersedes whether you interacting with them is going to kill them.
Mm.
Mm.
That's deep.
Super deep.
I mean, it's true though. Just handing off a little book is like, you don't know what can happen.
Because I mean, there's other things. So teaching them Christianity. Why didn't you have the Bible translated? Drop it off. If they read it, they read it. But you don't know what they speak.
Yeah.
Or if
Gaga Google.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
A picture book.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, I mean, you have to reach people where they are.
Back then, they breaking the law, so point blank.
Yeah.
So
yeah, at that point, it is what it is.
Mm. Any final verdicts before I close this out on this?
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Let them live in peace.
Leave them alone. Let them live in peace. Don't exploit them. But like I said, I'm just curious about them in general. But I wouldn't want to exploit to make money off of them in any sort of way. It's just kind of just knowing their history and see if I was to do the African ancestry, like, hey,
yeah, I want to do
75%
it. It's
Sentilese. I don't know.
Really?
But don't let you come to the island talking about, I'm one of y'all. 25%.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, and that's one of the things that I think that is important, especially for, Black people. We should know where we come from.
Yeah.
And Ancestry is $50 this month for the holidays.
For real?
Yes.
Man, let's do it.
All right.
All right, cool.
I mean, I think it's important, and I also feel that the government should pay for it, because you took us away, from our homeland. Like Jewish people, everything about them is documented.
Yeah.
But not for us. So I've been able. I've been able to trace the family history back to 1810.
Ooh.
Wow.
But that's it.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it is. And I've met, like, cousins, because they're like, oh, you have such and such in your family tree. And I'm like, yes, that's my great-grandfather. He married blah, blah, blah. So, like, I've met a lot of people, that way. But, I mean, just, in general, I would want to know the region.
Yeah.
Right.
Where we come from.
That'd be dope. Me too. Like I said, that'd be the only thing I'd be curious about the Sentilese people. But like other than that,
if they tell you that you're not, then you can let this go, John Chau.
Right. Because I got a feeling he about to try to roll up on this island.
Right.
I'm not obsessed. I'm just curious. But other than that, make sure y'all check out unpredictablethoughts2.com. All the latest podcasts and merchandise. I'm good. Love, enjoy dad hats, and also keep that same energy dad hats. Also on the website we have also on the website we have a link for Chenae's adult coloring book. You want to plug that in?
www.afro-mama.com. You can also follow me on Instagram. The link's in my bio at AfroMamaChe, AfroMamaChe.
Another episode of Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. Your boy Troubles. Peace.
Peace out.
Bye.